What is the best premier resort to stay at when you visit Universal Orlando in 2024?
The results might surprise you. It's hard to go wrong with a premier resort when you're staying at Universal Orlando. But in 2024, there might be a shakeup in the top spot.
If you haven't seen our videos before, there are 3 premier resorts when staying on site at Universal Orlando. You have Royal Pacific, you have Hard Rock, and you have Portofino Bay.
But which one is the best?
To figure that out, let's dive in, talk a little bit about the pros and cons of each of these hotels, what you get, what you don't get, and which one's worth booking for your vacation.
The first thing we're gonna cover are the things that you'll get no matter which premier resort you stay at. The first one is Unlimited Express Pass.
Worth it.
Now, Unlimited Express Pass covers everyone in your room from the day you check in until the day you check out. You might say, I'm not sure I need that. But when you do some math during the busy seasons, Unlimited Express Pass can cost upwards of $400 per person per day.
Now the price for that Express Pass is wrapped into the cost of your hotel. We will get to that a little bit later down the road on this video, but the pricing for premier hotels does cost a little bit more because you're getting that Express Pass included.
The next perk is water taxi service to and from the resorts. Water taxi service will start about an hour prior to early park admission, so whether you take an early morning water taxi ride while you're sipping on your coffee, or when you've had a long day in the parks, nothing will beat a water taxi ride back to your hotel.
We do not normally take advantage of water taxi service first thing in the morning because we like to get to EPA very early. The best thing about those water taxis though are on the way home at the end of your day, particularly on a long day or a long night of doing the parks or doing special events. It is so nice to have somebody drive you home in a nice fun water taxi, maybe singing along to Hotel California. It is one of the best ways to wrap up your night on that water taxi.
And the third thing you get is priority seating at restaurants. Imagine you're at Universal during the busy season and you forgot to make a reservation at a restaurant. Being at a premier allows you to go up to the hostess, flash your room key, and request that you have priority seating at said restaurant.
We don't necessarily recommend this as your first practice when going to restaurants, but it is a nice perk to have when staying at a premier resort. If you want to really step up your game, book a reservation ahead of time, but it's great to have this opportunity in your back pocket if you happen to forget. So now we know what perks you get when staying at these hotels. Let's talk about the next important factor is
location, location, location.
Let's start on the island side and talk about Royal Pacific.
Royal Pacific is about a 10-minute walk from the resort to Islands of Adventure.
It's on the island side as you approach the parks from City Walk. And you know, it's pretty quick and easy to be able to take that walking path and get you from point A to point B. However, if you're more of a Universal Studios fan to start your day, or more so maybe end your day with, we have 2 other hotels on the Studios side to look at, and that is Hard Rock and Portofino Bay.
Hard Rock is the closest hotel to Universal Studios. It's actually probably quicker to walk from Hard Rock than it is to take the water taxi.
I don't even know if I'd say probably, it is quicker. And finally, we have Portofino Bay, which is of the 3 premier resorts the furthest away from the parks. However, that is also kind of nice.
Portofino Bay is about a 10 to 12 minute walk to the security hub.
Closer to the 12-minute side.
By Universal Studios. However, at the end of the night, going back and having that distance kind of makes you feel like you're leaving the parks, which can be nice.
It can. Like at Royal Pacific, you can still hear the Hulk as you're walking back to the hotel, which cool. You can be excited on your way in, but at the end of the night, it's kind of nice to feel like you're going back to a calm, quiet, remote place to stay for the evening. Now, I will admit, the walk to get to the parks in the morning from Portofino Bay is exciting and fun, but the walk from City Walk to Portofino Bay at the end of the night, oh boy, it's probably the longest 12 minutes of my life. I just want to be in bed. So pick your location wisely when it comes to hotels. But if this isn't enough for you, let's dive into theming to help you decide which one of these hotels is the best fit.
If you want a tropical getaway with lush gardens, tons of windows, and a sushi bar, Royal Pacific is gonna be right up your alley.
The grounds at Royal Pacific are amazing. When you first walk in, you are greeted with palm trees and waterfalls and all of that. But even more so, when you first walk in, those hardwood accents, as well as the art on the wall, really makes you feel like you are in that type of getaway. And Ben's favorite thing about this hotel is the beautiful fountain that greets you when you first walk through those doors.
Now the rooms, as well as the pools at Royal Pacific, are just a little bit smaller than Hard Rock or Portofino. They're still elegantly themed,
Yeah.
but your square footage is definitely a little bit smaller.
Of these three hotels, do you think Royal Pacific is first, second, or third in theming for the rooms?
This is gonna sound like bad, but it's third, but not to say that it is bad theming at all.
The theming's beautiful, it just isn't as immersive. Now, Royal Pacific does have a gym and a pool area, and they are really well done. They're just a little bit smaller. Royal Pacific is going to be a little bit less expensive than your other premier hotels, and so you can kind of see the difference as we dive into these other two, why you pay a little bit more for the others.
You want to be rock star royalty. Hard Rock is gonna be your jam.
Hard Rock is pretty darn impressive because when you first roll up there, this fountain of guitars with water and the green lush grass make you feel like
You're pulling into a mansion.
you're pulling into a rock star's mansion. On top of it, like, the aesthetic when you first walk in is very well done. We thought when we were visiting Hard Rock for the first time, it was gonna be an absolute party and crazy and like literally a rock star's mansion that people have been partying. No, it's a rock star's mansion that is upscale and makes you feel like you are an upscale rock star too.
There's tons of memorabilia throughout the hotel, and the rooms even have some impressive Hard Rock decor.
They do. I think that the rooms are very well put together with the rock star theme that you have going on here, as well as kind of feeling like you are a part of the band. From the drumsticks on the wall of the art to the mirror where you're getting to see other different artists' heights. It's pretty neat. Now also, Hard Rock's rooms are slightly larger than Royal Pacific's. I don't know personally if you can really tell that they're slightly larger when you stay in them, but they technically are a couple square feet bigger. I think that square footage is really due to the way that the bathrooms are set up, where you have your vanity and your sink, and then inside the bathroom area with the toilet and the shower, you have a second small sink. I would be interested to hear from you guys if you like that setup or not. I have mixed feelings about it. It's hit or miss depending on who enjoys that setup at Hard Rock. But great hotel rooms.
Hard Rock also has a very large pool with a bar and underwater speakers.
Which definitely makes that pool area very, very fun. It gets bumping out there at times. But I will admit, that is not my favorite part of this hotel.
What is your favorite part of the hotel?
Emac and Bolio's.
Ice cream!
We love the ice cream that they have at Hard Rock at Emac and Bolio's. It is fantastic. And you know, in general, the Premier Hotel restaurants are very well done, very good. But just wait, because there's another restaurant that still tops Emac and Bolio's.
If you want to feel like you're going into an Italian Riviera, Portofino Bay is going to be the hotel for you.
Portofino Bay is absolutely beautiful. You actually feel like you're standing in Portofino Bay when you're out on the piazza, as well as being serenaded by an opera singer or popra, depending on what hits they're singing that day. And in general, like, Portofino Bay is massive. The hotel is easy to get lost in, but that also adds to the experience of being at Portofino Bay.
Portofino Bay's rooms are the biggest. They might not have the most immersive theming, but they are huge.
The rooms at Portofino Bay are more room than the two of us really need, but I love it because of that. And again, it's going to be reflected in the cost, but being able to go to Portofino Bay and have a room that is big for us, as well as a bathroom where you can literally walk around and not run into each other, is so amazing, especially if you're staying at the parks for an extended period of time.
Portofino Bay also has the most pools out of the premier resorts. They have 3 pools on property, one of which is an adult-only pool. It also has the only spa at any of the hotels.
It's true. I looked at booking a spa appointment in one of our last trips because I wanted to treat yourself when we were going. And come to find out, I thought all the premiers had a spa. No, the premiers all go to Portofino Bay if you want a massage or a facial or pedicure or what have you. Check those prices before you book anything though, because they get expensive. Additionally, Portofino Bay has arguably one of our favorite restaurants at the hotels that you can go to.
I know where you're going with this.
Now, Strong Water at Sapphire Falls,
Delicious.
amazing. The Palm at Hard Rock, very good. Like, there are some solid options on property. Ammenities does. Like, I'm listing out a bunch of other options, but the best place that you can eat at any of the hotels at Universal is Be Safe.
It's definitely expensive, but boy, it was worth every penny when we went there.
It is fancy. It is not a theme park style restaurant, but it is some of the best and most authentic Italian food that we have had in a long time, and it was amazing. Get a reservation, be prepared to be there for a minute and really have a full experience and enjoy your meal at Be Safe.
Portofino Bay does have one glaring eyesore currently though, and that is the construction.
Yeah, we knew construction was coming this year, and it has been going on since last year, but Portofino Bay is in the midst of quite a bit of work on the exterior of the hotel. Now, we saw this happen a year or two ago with Hard Rock, and upkeep is needed. In 2024, if you are booking your hotel at Portofino Bay, be prepared that the outside might not look the prettiest with some scaffolding and...
That construction is front and center.
Yeah, it's right there. It shouldn't interrupt your stay. However, it just isn't as pretty coming up in the water taxi at the end of the day and seeing, bam, scaffolding, bam, construction.
And the construction will continue until 2025 as they move across each of the building sections and update the facades. So plan accordingly if you're looking at Portofino Bay during 2024.
Finally, you're probably asking, cool, I want to book a hotel here, but I need to know what is it going to cost? Or at least generally, what are we looking at for the pricing structure for these different hotels? And we've alluded to it a little bit, so let's dive on in and talk about what you can expect for pricing at these different hotels.
Royal Pacific, being one of the further ones away, as well as having some smaller amenities, does lead to a cheaper cost.
When booking Royal Pacific, you can typically expect that this is going to be the lowest priced of the 3 premier hotels, unless something crazy's gone on.
Not always.
But normally you're going to see a price reduction in Royal Pacific comparatively to the other 2. I had somebody reach out recently, and there was a significant difference for their bookings between Royal Pacific and Hard Rock of about $500 for the time they were looking to stay. And so you kind of want to work through that as you go. Next, we have both Hard Rock and Portofino Bay kind of tying for that first and second place of which is more expensive. It really depends on the time of year, kind of what season's going on. Is it HHN? Is it Grinchmas? Is it Mardi Gras? And also just in general where the demand's at.
So if we had to pick one premier resort to stay at in 2024, what would it be?
Well, typically my answer would be Portofino Bay.
Oh yeah.
But, big but, I'm not a big fan of dealing with the construction right now.
I agree with you.
And so I think because of that, is money a factor? Do I have to factor in how much it costs?
$100 for a day.
If I have a good sized budget to work with, I am going to lean towards Hard Rock, particularly if we are deciding to stay for an extended period of time, about a week or more, right? That said, if we're just going for a quick weekend and I still want Express Pass, I would look at booking at Royal Pacific. If you book at Portofino Bay, you're still gonna have a great time.
You're having a great time.
We're not saying to not book there. In fact, we might if we can get a steal of a deal. It's still a great place to stay, and I love a little popra in my life. But just be prepared that in 2024, you can expect construction at that particular hotel. If you're looking to book a Universal vacation in 2024 and you need a little bit of help, or maybe you just want to talk through hotels a little bit further, check out our website in the description box below. We would love to help you.
Stick around for more Universal content. Thanks for watching.
Bye.